What's going on, folks? Your boy Metal coming to you here, Tin Man TNA, doing a video on the Micro sewing kit. This is a pocket carry, everyday carry kind of thing for making repairs. You can do something similar to this whenever you're doing your rucks, your assault packs, whatever, your sling bags, whatever, however you're carrying your everyday carry stuff. Or whenever you're doing like the combat loadout kind of stuff, you can throw this kind of thing in there, but you can do other types of stuff too, which I will show you. This, if y'all remember, is the Altoid stint I did for the medical. I also have one made up for survival that I did with the Warrior Collective that I hooked up to a Camillus carnivore that rides in my truck every day with me. This actually goes in my pocket every day. It's got dents and dings in it since I've made it, and I actually just used this the other day. I was having an issue on one of my forearms here, and ended up, it was just like itching and itching and itching. I kept digging at it. I had some hydrocortisone in here. I was able to take that hydrocortisone and throw it onto my arm. I just replaced the packet when I got home, and I'm good to go. Now, this is a regular sized Altoid tin. This is a micro. You can see the size difference. This is a sewing kit. This is a medical kit, as it says, medical inside. But setting him off to the side as I go into this. I put the Ranger band around it just to give me something to utilize if I need to band something together as I'm like stitching it or whatever. But it also helps to keep this closed and packed up nice and tight for me. It's not very big, as you can see, the difference in size. Okay, they make ones bigger, they make ones smaller. So as we dive in here, I'm going to open this up. I'm going to reach over here, grab inside my rucksack because I'm ill prepared to do this video. Inside my ruck, I will be going over this in the near future, doing a breakdown, but I keep a junk drawer in my rucksack. It's literally everything random stuff. But one of the things I have in here is an actual sewing kit, a little sewing kit with needles, safety pins, a threader, scissors, different types of thread in here, as well as a little measuring tape. I keep that right in my little junk drawer here, so that way it's nice and handy should I need to make a repair. So inside this little guy, well, Metal, what'd you put in that little tiny thing? I'm going to show you. So as we open it up here, this is geared towards my like everyday type of stuff that I need. There is a little tiny little folded in on itself little thing of duct tape here. Should I need to make any kind of repair, waterproof, whatever type repair, or I can use it as like a seam tape. I can split it and use it like a seam tape to hem something or whatever. Reinforce an area that's weak. I can do that with the duct tape. Probably got about I think it's like around 5 feet of duct tape in here I have. I had this little guy here. Some of your moms and grandmas and wives might know what this is. This is for threading your needle. If you are shaky, if you're cold, if you're tired, fatigued, your eyes, it's low light, something like that, you have something like this. This helps you thread your needle. What you do is when I get to the needles, I'll show you what you do with this thing. This is a recommendation of my wife. I conferred with her on this, how to add some things, what I needed to add, what I needed to take away. I took little bobbins of thread and I took some electrical tape and I put around the bobbin. Here I have gray tape, gray tape. Get it right, Metal, it's gray thread. I have electrical tape around the gray thread in case I need to repair something that has blacks and whites and grays. I have one here that is a clear plastic one that you can see from the outside is a brown type of thread. I have that taped on here. I have one here that's taped in. You can see that is OD green like color. And last but not least, in the thread types, I have, this is going to sound weird. It's going to look weird, but guess what? It's fishing line. I have an 8-pound test fishing line in here. That works really well for repairing your nylon gear, ballistic nylon stuff, your packs, all that kind of stuff, this is heavier than what the thread is. So this will give you more strength whenever it comes to stitching stuff like that up. I also have a whole huge grip of safety pins in here. My golly, the safety pins are clutch whenever it comes to making repairs. I have used them for picking splinters. I've used needles for picking splinters. I've used a lot of safety pins in my day, and they come in handy so often. Even in survival, you can use them as fishing hooks and all kinds of stuff. I'm going to use the bigger needle here to demonstrate this. This is for threading your needle. You may not be able to get the needle or the thread through, but if you can see there, see how I have the threader through the eye of the needle? I can take and I can stick the thread right through this little loop, stick it through by like a couple inches, and then I take and I go like this and I pull it right through the eye. That way it threads the needle for me. So if my hands are shaky and I'm cold, I can at least try and get this in there easier. Like there, I did it with like little effort to get this through there to be able to thread the needle, and then I pull it back through. So in that way I have the needle threaded for doing my stitching. I have various sizes of needles in here. I also have some needles that I have ordered for doing the curved needles for doing stitching like that. So this is a great little kit I have here to be able to stitch things up, repair things in my gear on the fly. I'm going to pack it back up here as I have y'all on video, just so you can see it all just goes right back in there nice. This little bobbins kind of like interlock. Tape just lays on top, put it over the top. As far as like a thimble or something like that, I always have with me a multi-tool, so I can use that for pushing or pulling if I need to. And stitching different molly gear, different ballistic nylon, stuff like that. I have used in the past my multi-tools and small pairs of pliers to push the needle through and pull it through the other side. I've done a lot of stitching work on my stuff like that. It's been a learning curve, shall I say, to learn how to do this kind of stuff. My mom taught me how to sew many years ago. Had home ec class when I was in school, learned how to sew there again. But in having to fix things, I've sewn on patches. I've sewn on different things when I was in Boy Scouts, when I was doing military. I had different patches and stuff, insignias I had to sew on my uniforms and things like that. So I learned how to sew. It's not a bad thing. It's not a emasculating thing to learn how to sew, guys. It is good because it's a way to repair things. No different than, you know, zip tie and duct tape and rednecking the thing, super gluing it, whatever you got to do, really glue, whatever. It's another repair to be made. So this little guy here, this teeny little thing, is going to enable me that if I have a fabric breakdown, I'm going to call it a fabric breakdown, whether it's a nylon strap, if it's a rucksack, if it's an assault pack, if it's my poncho, if it's my coat, if it's a chest rig, if it's a plate carrier, anything, I can sew with this, stitch it back together and keep going. Great tool to have. Don't think of it as sewing. Think of it as a tool. It's a tool to help you keep your equipment going. Okay? So that is the mini, as you can see, mini sewing and repair kit I have here. Going to do a lot for me. The other one is strictly for sewing. This one has the duct tape and more safety pins in here for repairs. So little tiny mini tin, Altoids tin, find yourself one, get yourself one, eat up all the delicious mints, and take and get yourself, like, I think the needles cost me like $1 or $2 for this multi-pack of needles. The safety pins, I already had a big pack of them I use for a lot of different things, so I already had those. The thread came from a sewing kit that my mother left behind that had all different colors and assortments of thread. I already had the fishing line. I keep fishing line here with me in the cave, so I always have fishing line. I got like all kinds of rules of duct tape. You guys follow me in the Warrior Collective knew I had the real tree duct tape I was using for everything. Well, I burnt through that, so now I have the regular old gray duct tape, or mile-an-hour tape in here. So those kind of things, and the threader, it came with the needles. So for, say, under, in the cost of the mints, whenever I bought those, I mean, they were like $1 something. Say under $10, I have a sewing kit to make repairs. That's pretty cheap. So I'll take that any day. I'll take this little Altoids boo-boo tin. You know, maybe in total it cost me probably about, say, about the same, under 10 bucks or so to do this thing. So $20 right here, I can fix boo-boos and wounds, simple stuff, get itches, get scrapes, burns, whatever. I can treat with this. I've already used this for the bee stings. It's proven its worth. This thing I'm sure will prove its worth, because stuff's always breaking and ripping and tearing and whatnot. So this thing's going to prove its worth. So $20 right here. I have 2 small kits that fit in a cargo pocket that I can fix things with myself or stuff. So take it for what it's worth. Do yourself a kit. Don't do yourself a kit. It's up to you. Thanks for following along. Thanks for watching. Make sure you're liking, subscribing, hit the bell for notifications. Do all the things, help the channel out, share the channel with your friends and family and those that may benefit from the information contained. Make sure you're following along with the Tin Man TNA podcast on Spotify's. Also got a Telegram channel up for Tin Man TNA, and also have the Facebook for Tin Man TNA, and it's under the Old Warrior Collective page. So on the Telegram, be able to get in there and mix it up with other people in the community, share ideas, concepts, help support and lift each other up, help grow the community by sharing all the content. So until the next time, I will catch you guys later on. Got some more videos on the way here. So until then, that'll out.